Joey. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town.
I kinda want something other to eat.
Well, what would you like?
You got any biscuit for sale in there?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? John MaClain here with another great video. Great intro, yeah, for sure. So, let's start. Hope you're having a great day.
Well, no, this here's a Frosty Cream. We don't serve biscuits. We got a lot of other stuff, though.
What you got in there that's good to eat?
Well, we got Big Chief Burgers, Bongo Burgers, Footlongs, Corny Dogs, Frosty Shakes, Creamy Bars. Did you want me to go through the whole list?
Reckon what you like to eat in there?
Well, the French fries are pretty good.
French fried potatoes?
Yep, French fries.
How much you want for 'em?
Well, they're 60 for the medium and 75 for large.
I reckon I'll have me some of the bacon.
That's hilarious, right?
Welcome to Chili where we make food for the whole family. Teenage years. Grandma Ling Ling has enjoyed Godzilla meat since the dawn of time. We now offer Teenage Godzilla Tail, a delicacy you're sure to enjoy. And just like our other items, it is beaming with life, so it is very fresh. What? You eat oxtails, don't you? Oh, you're too bougie for a Teenage Godzilla Tail? If we were Jamaican, you would buy it. Jamaicans give you what? Cabbage, macaroni with their oxtails. We will give you salamanders and turtle. Chili where we make food for the whole family.
Yeah, okay. What do you guys think about that?
Well, guys, we thought Billy was going to be a dad, and, those are all black. We haven't let him see yet, so this may get kind of crazy.
Hold up. Let me get this straight. Your dog had puppy. And you got two dogs. They live in the same house. You knew that Billy was going to knock them up, but somehow them puppies came out black. And y'all ain't let Billy see it. And y'all ain't let Billy see it. And I would please find a way to show me the video where y'all show Billy what the puppies look like. I love to know. I don't give a damn what people think. If they don't think this is funny, damn them. Because that, I just want to know. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but this is real, people.
This is real.
What the
All right, because I got to the bottom of that Egypt thing, right? I debunked it for you guys, right? Which is common sense. So I'm going to debunk this fake fucking broads in outer space shit, okay? First of all, they went to the stratosphere, okay? Which is not outer space. So supposedly just to go to the stratosphere, you don't have to escape Earth's gravity. However, there's no oxygen. You get up half of that distance and pilots have to wear like fucking oxygen. Second of all, you don't have to escape Earth's gravity, but you do have to be going 11.2 kilometers or 7 miles per second. 7 miles per second. So how many seconds are in an hour? Think about it. It's 70 times 60 just for 1 minute's worth, right? You're talking, what's 70 times 60? That's 4,800. And then times how many are in an hour, right? Like we're talking, I'm not very good at math on the fly, but we're talking about thousands of miles per hour, which is G-force. You get into G-force. So in other words, you don't need a rocket, but you need an extremely powerful jet. Like the last jet that made it, okay, or consistently makes it is the SR-22 Blackhawk, which is a supersonic jet. So you're going like Mach speeds, and if you've ever done Mach 1 in a flight simulator or something, it feels like somebody's standing on your chest. When you're going like Mach 3 or 4, it feels like 3 or 4 people are standing on your chest. When you're going like Mach, like more than that, that's when you typically pass out. You have to be like trained. Like that giant thing that they put pilots in, a centrifuge that spins around woof, 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 and gets you up to that speed, because certain people just can't handle it. Okay, and you're telling me all those frail... No, you're not. You're a super rich female. You're definitely like working super hard physically and mentally, exerting yourself to the fucking limits. Like, get the fuck... Like, that's as soft as it gets. That's as soft and as frail as it gets, with no oxygen and the equivalent weight at Mach 4 of like 5 motherfuckers standing on your chest, and nobody passed out. Dude, I've seen Harrison Ford or Russell Crowe or somebody went up riding co-pilot in the Blue Angels thing just for shits and giggles, and they throw up on themselves. Like, that's the thing to do, is make like lay people throw up a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, ha ha ha, because, you know, they're highly trained and they're just, right? And so 6 super frail females, the most pampered velvet cocoon that one could possibly reside in, and you stepped out of that to go Mach 5 into vertical speed with no oxygen mask on, no oxygen mask. How, explain the fuck that, dude. So you got some superhuman broads, man. No wonder they rich and married high-power motherfuckers. You have superpowers. You don't need oxygen. You can fucking push the limits with 6 motherfuckers standing on your chest. You know what I'm saying? Dang, man. Then, here's the other part that's horseshit. Have you ever seen a parachute? Like, they don't stop you softly. You know what I mean? And usually touchdown from a parachute capsule, it's so violent and gnarly, right? Even with 10 gigantic parachutes, that it usually goes down in water. I've never seen any kind of capsule event. An enclosed capsule, like, yeah, if it's like when you're in science class and you like design a capsule that you could throw off the roof and it doesn't break an egg, and it's like filled with like coils or rubber bands, like, it's possible, but it's not going to be just a open fucking capsule like the one they were sitting in. The one they were sitting in looked like fucking couches and shit. Looked like it had like a fucking giant love seat, dude. What the fuck is that, bro? With no oxygen, and then the capsule just comes down on a parachute and just hits land. You know what that would do? First of all, it would leave a crater and a skid mark. Second of all, that thing would go boom, bam, and like just a look on your face from like that like initial impact, you'd be like, oh, we did it, oh my god. You know what I mean? Like, it would jostle you, dude. You're not just gonna fucking do that and then get out like, oh yeah, hi. Like, no, dude, no. Hitting the fucking ground with 10 parachutes in a fucking capsule, bro, that has to be like pretty fairly solid, right? And here's the other thing. Coming back, right? So you're in the stratosphere where you experience weightlessness for a second, and then you fall back and be re-caught by Earth's gravity. And then my understanding is that you keep speeding up faster and faster, dude. And then it creates some friction and heat. That's why they have heat shields. And that one time when the astronauts like died, they burned up because one of the heat shield tiles, one of the tiles was broken. And that thing had no fucking tiles on it. There's no heat shielding. And every time I've seen something like do that in the past, come back, you know, down to earth, there's usually like a fair degree of scorching on it because, you have the most flammable substance in the atmosphere, the most flammable substance in the universe, fucking oxygen, right? 34% of the atmosphere, actually, to be exact, on fucking metal, you know what I mean? It burns, dude. It makes there's like a little bit of scorching. You definitely need a heat shield. Now, somebody say, oh no, that's when you're re-entering Earth's atmosphere, right? And you have to punch through to be captured by the gravity again. Okay, I get it. I get that. They weren't in constant free fall. They didn't leave Earth's gravity. They just went up high enough to fucking experience that for, a minute or whatever it was, or 2 minutes and everything, with no oxygen though. The guy that fucking holds the record for the biggest base jump where he flew up in a balloon, that guy had full oxygen, pressure suit, the whole nine, and lost consciousness for a while. I think there was a heat shield suit or something that he had to wear because he started to get burned up, dude. You get going so fast, and then the friction combined with, the most flammable gas known to man that makes up 34% of our oxygen, 34% of our atmosphere, oxygen, right? There's just bro, there's no way. And there's no way 5 or 6 dizzy bitches can, from a velvet cocoon for a couple of seconds, to with no oxygen, right? Parachuting onto hard pack Earth with no skid mark, right? No fucking dude, I got hit by a car at 15 miles an hour and I had motherfucking whiplash, right? Dude, I had a motherfucker just wrench on my neck a little bit, a small tussle over a parking space, and I had fucking whiplash for a week. You know what I mean? How the fuck? But you went fucking, so I gotta write it down. You went 7 miles a second, or 11.2 kilometers a second, dude. A second. So 11 times 60 seconds, 11 times 60 is what, 600 miles an hour? No, that's not miles an hour, bro. That's miles a minute. You got to go how many minutes? 60 in an hour to get miles an hour. It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable for a fucking semi-retarded motherfucker to do right now on the fly at the top of my head. I'm sure somebody would be smart enough to be like, well, that's 600 times 60. That's 120,000 miles an hour. Okay. So you did 120 miles an hour with no oxygen, right up into where there's no oxygen, and you didn't bring any, right? Or if you did, I saw some bottles in the capsule. Is that where you lead me to believe that you just opened up the bottles
Why you mad? Why you mad? You upset? You upset? Not my fault that life ain't turn out how you said. Not my fault. Now you sad. Now you sad. You a mess. You a mess. Bringing others down when someone tried their best. It ain't cool. Look at you.
If you haven't followed him, follow him. He's a good dude. Good guy.
What year do you have to be born in to be considered old?
I feel like 1990.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all. Fuck you and your baby and your...
Wait for it.
That took us an LA.
Hey, you're a team what? If you are thirsty, hot or high, get you something to drink. Drinks are only $1. If you pop the money, everybody scream! Yeah. How about we get another letter?
Ay, güey, no te vayas
a lastimar, te vas a lastimar, Nuño. Espérate, güey. What's su pinche madre, güey? I didn't know American Ninja Warrior was handing out citizenship. Espérate, güey, te vas a chingar el collarbone. What's su pinche madre? I feel like listening to a Katy Perry song, bro. Oh, chingos de empowerment, güey. You're giving chubby people chingos of fucking hope, bro. Espérate, güey. Te vas a lastimar, güey. Hijo de su pinche. This is. Who give this man LeBron James scoring title, bro? He's way more athletic than anything. Oh, dude. Espérate. No te vayas a lastimar, güey. Hijo de su.
Oh, that was hilarious. That's a funny show.
Huh?
Hey, it works, right?
This thing looked like it was the size of Jupiter. Back in April of 2022, this footage of what looked like a huge object that was siphoning energy from the sun and then detaching exploded in popularity within the UFO community. It's very possible that back in 2013, this solar imaging satellite captured this object next to the sun. Could this be the very same UFO? Let me know.
An orb? Look at that, though. You see it right there, right? Super just a
Or check this out. I was listening to Coast AM, right? And they were interviewing this guy named Bill Hummin, right? And a lady that he works with called Catherine Logan, okay? She's a spiritist. He owns the skull, right? They go through the whole story, shebang, bam, blam, blam, testing, all this other stuff. This was super intriguing. They have did current testing with this thing, right? And they have done other testing. One of the testing that he mentioned was about lasers, putting lasers inside the skull, right?
Interesting story. We were using the lasers and shining it on it one night, and they were making movies, and it would show it put all 8 different ET groups, races shown up on the wall with the light going through the skull. So that was kind of interesting. That's videotaped, and somebody has it in their archives. Yeah.
This sent me down a rabbit hole, okay? I went with ChatGPT. I started asking a whole bunch of questions. One of my primary questions was, if it's coming through the skull and they're imaging 8 aliens, right? Maybe those 8 aliens had something to do with our development, our creation, right? So I went and checked it out. ChatGPT, right, says that there's 4 primary strands of DNA, right? And then because of the negative and the positive, there's 8 strands of DNA on Earth. Okay? So that brings me down to, if there's 8 creatures and we have 8 different strands of DNA on Earth, you guys are seeing where I'm going with this, right? On the rabbit hole, I was like, well, if that's the case, what 8 primary creatures are abducted or we're involved? We have the Greys, we have the Reptilians, we have the Humanoids, the Nordics, right? We have the Sectoids, right? We have the praying mantis one. We got the tall whites, right? We got a different type of gray, I can't remember their name. And the third one, Anunnaki, right? The real tall, like 10-foot tall, with beards and stuff like that, huge beards. Now, if we were created by these 8 creatures, right, it makes sense how we primarily look the way we do. Like 3 out of the 5 look strictly human, right? So, and then some people say that Nordics, they would look just like us if they were walking by us and stuff like that. So that's my theory. Like, what if this production is showing our creators that created us? That's what the skulls say. That's pretty nuts, right?
Could this be a soft disclosure? United States Air Force's Stephen F. Quast of Space Force was releasing what sounded like soft disclosure of energy sources during this press conference. Also, if you remember, President Trump did this a few days back. Could this be a soft disclosure? Listen up.
The seed corn of all development, all growth, all survival, energy. So energy, transportation, information, and manufacturing, these are the things that change humanity, that will change world power. and they are descending upon us in ways that are very unique. The technology is on the engineering benches today, but most Americans and most in Congress have not had time to really look deeply at what's going on here. But I've had the benefit of 33 years of studying and becoming friends with these engineers and these scientists. This technology can be built today with technology that is not developmental to deliver any human being from any place on planet Earth to any other place in less than an hour. To deliver Wi-Fi from space where you never need a cell tower to connect. To deliver energy from space where you never have to plug your phone in and it trickle charges and you can use that energy over time. It can be applied to cars, to houses. The technology of Edison and Tesla that we live with in our energy environment, our paradigm today, is expensive, it's dangerous, and it's wasteful. Plug it into the wall, but yet that's what we all do because we are used to paradigms. The power of space will change world power forever. And it doesn't have to be a big country to do it. It can be a small island country, let's say New Zealand. Because the technology, if optimized, can change world power, and there's nothing you can do if you don't have that power. The nature of power. You either have it and your values rule, or you do not have it and you must submit. We see that play out again and again in history, and it's playing out now. But we get
What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. I hope you had a wonderful time joining me. I hope to see you back. If you haven't, please subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, bye.